Welcome to True Print for Life. I'm your host, Christina Vera.
And I'm your co-host, Maylin and Sambois.
Welcome back for a new episode. And also, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Cannot believe it's 2023. It's funny. I was thinking about like when it became 2000. And I remember the night before exactly where I was. I was at my cousin's house because my mom had to work. And there was all this stuff all over the news that the millennium was going to all technology was going to shut down, the
end of the world,
the end of the world. So my aunt was lighting candles and she had everybody praying. And the whole time I'm like, where the hell is my mom? Why am I here? If the world's going to end, why is she at work? I had so many questions.
Because your mom worked in IT, right? She knew it wasn't over.
Yeah, she was working for an IT company at the time. So they had all these people in that night because everybody really thought the moment midnight hit, it was going to be chaos. People were pulling money out of the ATMs because the way the bank system was set up, it wasn't set up for the 2000s. So I don't know. I don't really know I remember just being in high school and just thinking it was so silly. But then I got scared because then my aunt started to really freak out. So me and Eve are just in the basement okay, well, if this is it, what are we supposed to do? And so then midnight came and we're all looking at each other and I'm like, so now what?
Wait till 1 a.m. then you wait till 2 a.m.
And so we went to bed and it was okay. And now we're here at 2023. So it's been 23 years.
That's crazy.
Since that night, me and my cousin were this is it.
I graduated high school in 2000. And I'm like, where was I? I was
right?
That winter. I was either I can't even remember, God. I was either in New York because I was already in college in New York, or I was back home. I was back here for the holidays. It's one of those two.
Wow.
Yeah, but I remember the whole kaboom, the whole commotion of things. But I don't think I paid a lot of attention to it for some reason. I heard it and I'm like, all right, well, if we die, we die.
Oh my God.
I might have gone to bed.
It's just the craziest things. I think people get so worked up, but I'm just and I don't know. I think it was so weird because I was driving and I was like, oh my God, I remember the 2000s. And then, the fact that it's 2023, I graduated in 2003 from high school. So it'll be 20 years in June that I graduated.
Are you going to a reunion? They do reunions and things.
Nah, I'm cool.
I have never been to one of mine. I get invitations. I'm like, you can actually keep that.
I think because of social media, it's what's the point of the reunions now? You see everybody's life on the internet, and some of these people, I'm like...
My thing is, if I didn't talk to you in high school, I don't see the point of seeing you 20 years later, actually.
Well, let me tell you, I did go to my 10 year. Was it 10? It had to be 10. And I actually didn't even go to mine. I went to the high school that I went to before. I went to one high school and then I had to switch last minute. And so all my friends were at the original high school. And so they all were going to the 10-year reunion and they was like, yo, you should come. So I'm like, cool, I'll go. And so we're just chilling. We saw a lot of the people we went to school with. And then it was weird. It got weird real fast.
It got weird.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because they had a lot of alcohol at this thing.
That's why it got weird. It got lit, weird lit.
They got lit. Because I was just sitting there chilling. I was really I'm not going to get lit tonight. I'm just going to chill. But everybody else was drinking. And so then it was weird because these girls came up to us. These girls, we knew who they were. Mm-hmm. And they just were in high school, you guys weren't very nice to us. And I for a second was like, Ashton Kutcher is going to come out the back because this can't really be happening. So the two girls I'm sitting with, it was actually 5 of us sitting together. We all kind of looked at each other like, what? And they were like, yeah, we always wanted to be friends with you guys. But mind you, they were not nice to us.
Were they geeky? What was the problem?
No, they were cheerleaders. They were the popular group. So we were so confused.
But were you guys popular too also?
We were.
Though? Okay.
However, I never remember there being an awkward encounter. It was more of just they hung out, we hung out. There was very minimal exchange.
Didn't you play ball in high school?
Yeah, I played basketball.
Yeah. Who were they cheerleading for?
The boys, not us. We weren't good. So it was I don't know. And so it was just so odd because I just remember sitting there and being and I think it was more so geared towards some of the other girls I was sitting with, but it was still a very awkward moment. And so then one of the girls just what are you talking about? And so I just remember saying I'm never coming to one of these again because at this point, the reunion is it's not like in the movies. It's not this magical like.
That sounds like a movie though.
It was definitely like, and then just to see people like you used to like think they were so funny.
Oh, or cute.
Oh, cute.
Oh, that is just the biggest disappointment, man. When you see somebody that you had a crush on.
Now there's still some of them that are still cute. Like I mean, I give credit to a few. I've seen them on social media.
I guess I didn't go to my school. It's fine.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, you've aged very well. But then some, I'm just like, I wasn't interested in having the whole kumbaya about like, I don't know. But it was definitely like, I'm done with reunions. Like that was the only one I went to in 20 years in June, and I don't send me an invite. I don't want to go.
I think I got myself removed from all the groups. I was like, guys, it just really doesn't make sense. I even hate what school I went to. Now I'm like, I don't even want you to know what school I went to on Facebook. You have to Google me to find things because there's just no way.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. Like it never. Nobody ever gives me back some positive feedback also about when they went. It sounds like just, no offense to all of y'all, but just real lame. Yeah. I'm just not going to go. Yeah. Like people that I rock with, I still see now.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see. The rest of you, I wish you well. And I hope you're doing great.
Yeah.
And period.
But I see you on Facebook and Instagram.
Maybe, because I don't accept everybody either now.
No. Yeah, me either.
So I was like, I have a few. And I'm like, what do you want to be? Like when I got the invites to be friends on Facebook, I was like, why are you want to be my friend on here when I don't talk to you when I was in high school? That I remember.
Yeah.
I have a horrible memory, I have to say, because some people are like, we were great friends. I'm like, were we?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember.
I have bad memory too. I think too, because I went to so many schools, it was just like, my mom was constantly putting us in different schools. So it was hard. Like, I mean, faces, I definitely remember like people that look familiar, but names, even to this day, I could barely remember my own kids' names. Like, I'm like, Julia, I mean, you go whatever.
Like my dad.
And I only have 3 children. You would think I have 10 that I can't remember their poor names. Juliana gets annoyed with me. Poor Juliana. I talk about her a lot on this show.
She's gonna be real annoyed when she sees one of the episodes.
I just feel bad because it's always Juliana doing like she's the one that's
she's very active.
Very active. Her and Adrian, like Maritza's an adult, so I feel like I don't have much to talk about anymore because she's kind of like in her own world. But all right, I'm gonna stop talking about Juliana. But anyways, Happy New Year.
How was your New Year's?
New Year's was cool. Like we went to a cabin with the kids and Kent and I had hoped it was going to be like this like reset, but like I was so disappointed with the cleanliness of the cabin that I couldn't like shake the, I was just like, oh my God, this cabin is a mess. And so it just like when we first got there, it was but I told myself, I said, you're here to have fun with the kids, like make it great. And so we did. We had a good time. We ate. The kids went swimming. The girls did some goal setting in their journals. At least that's what they told me. I didn't really check it. And then it was like the New Year came. Same night as the Buckeye game, which I don't know why they do that because as soon as the Buckeye, like, mind you, the game went up to like literally a minute before the ball dropped. So my husband is like, don't talk to me into this game. And it's like, but I got to change the channel because we're going to miss the ball dropping.
What about your phone? You didn't have your phone. Yeah.
It just was the most. And so literally the ball dropped and they lost at the same second. And it was like,
I saw the score. I was like, oh, I didn't want to text you. That's when I got your text. I was like, it's a safe.
No, can't. Like, I always know when he's really mad when he just don't say nothing. He just got up and just walked off out of the room.
And I thought they said they would never do this again.
They lied to us because
that happened. Remember when we had the party in my house?
Yeah, and they lost that year.
Oh my God. Let me tell you, I swear that I would never have a party in my house where Ohio State's playing that day because
not on New Year's Eve.
It could go, I don't care what day it is, actually.
It killed the whole vibe.
I mean, we remember Thanksgiving?
Oh my God, yes. Thanksgiving they lost too.
Oh God!
It was a few days after Thanksgiving.
Well, it was a Saturday.
Yeah,
it was after Saturday. Yes.
They lost that day, and Kent was also not happy.
Yeah, and Kent just reminded me that some people take this so serious. Like he's done better though. He used to get worse, but I think it was, to me, it's like, wow, I don't have money invested in this, and I get there's a pride thing, but I'm like, I'm not getting $1 million. I'm not getting money out of this.
Right.
It's so sad they lost. They win. I don't win or lose anything.
Right.
Regardless. But some people are not like that, and I respect that, guys. But you guys cannot ruin the whole night because the team lost. They're still getting their money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like my New Year's party was so sucky.
Yeah.
Because once that team lost, everybody just looked at each other like, this actually feels like a funeral.
Yeah.
And not a party. And that's why when I saw the score, I was like, I'm not texting her. And it's not safe.
I mean, it was a good game. I have to say, both
it was so close,
teams,
though.
It was a good game. Both teams played extremely well. And it's just, I mean, that happens in life. Sometimes,
was it a point, right? It was like 1 point.
Yeah, like it was super close. It was, I mean, a field goal would have done the trick. And then the kicker, like he's typically on point. And he, like, I mean, there's nothing you can do. It is life. What it is. It's life. And I think, if that's not a New Year's lesson, like right out the gate, it's like sometimes it just don't work out the way you want it to work out. However, Michigan lost too. So I told Kent, I said, look at the bright side here. OSU's out and Michigan's out. Because I think the only reason he wanted to continue was because they wanted redemption at Michigan.
Yeah,
you're not going to get it because they're out the tournament.
They both
as well.
got out.
Yeah,
and at Ohio State, if you're listening, if anybody works there right now that you're listening, tell them stop it. Stop it. No more Ohio State games on New Year's. Yes. We want to have a party. And we can't.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They messed it up for a lot of people. But it was cool because I felt like, starting to think about a new year, I think we always kind of get to this. People like to do the whole New Year's resolutions and goal setting. And I mean, I still am very much a goal setting type of person, but I no longer I never create like these crazy big goals like I used to. Like, I'm like, why am I stressing myself?
Not after COVID.
Especially after COVID. Like, I was so annoyed because, like, you spend all this time and energy really thinking, at least for some people, like
Well, we used to spend the morning, remember? Like,
morning
breakfast. We're like, all right, let's get all this
we would have a full-on flip chart, whiteboard, and we're like, we're going to do this and this and check marks and list. And I'm just like, oh, my God.
And then COVID hit, and it was like, okay, so reroute.
The whole year stopped in March that year. And then so it's just now I started getting to a point where I no longer think about, like, I mean, I have my overarching goals for the year, but I create more, like, flexibility. I look at the next 90 days. And so I kind of started just thinking through, like, okay, what went well last year? What do I want to do this year? Which kind of like, that's just my MO with the new year. I'm always like, okay, I got this. I kind of get like this game time mentality. I rest up, and then like the first weekend, I'm ready to go hard.
And so then February comes and it's your birthday, and you're like, I'm already
thinking about March. I'm like, do I want to go somewhere? Like, part of my goal is not spend money, and I'm already like, what if I just went on like a cheap trip? Like, the trips that are like, they always average. I mean, like, I might even hop on a Spirit plane if it comes. Is it Spirit? That's Spirit. Yeah. I won't go on Front. Wait, no, we like
it's Frontier.
We like Frontier.
It was Frontier, and
we don't like Spirit.
No, Spirit just had a problem that time. We just have to be careful with that.
I don't know. Even in the Southwest, they did people real dirty over the holidays. So I guess it doesn't really matter at this point.
No, just the cheap flight, I think, is really what matters if you're looking for cheap.
I can get don't let them send me an email like go to the Bahamas for $299. I might just buy it. I just might go but no, I think it was interesting because how am I gonna say this? Okay, so you know how I am. I get very excited about a new year. And if you're anything like just kind of like that's your personality, like it's sometimes really hard to be around people who that's not their personality.
Yes.
Especially like for me, it's like the first like January, like it's very like I'm very focused as much as I can be. And so
it's foundation time. You're laying out the foundation for the year.
Exactly.
I get it. Plus, you're a visionary. So people really have to understand that they know you.
Exactly. I just came back from the water because I was at the cabin.
Oh, God. I'm surprised I didn't get a whole.
I have more. I just have it. I was like, you're having a baby, so I'm trying to give you things. I'm
like, when she sees water, increments. I expect like this things.
Well, I did send you one text about the Femergy International or something, so we got to talk about that at some point. So that's just me. You know how I am, and I would think that my husband would know me by now. He's known me 21 years, and so every year I ask him, I'm like, what are your goals? Like, what it's like a new year, like. And every year he gives me the same damn response.
What's the response?
I don't really think about those things.
Because he has everything he wants. And we talked about this. His dreams have come true, Christina.
It's impossible.
Well, his dreams have.
I don't understand. So every year he tells me that, and I'm working on my reaction being less like surprised. And so he does it again to me this year. He's like, I don't really think about those things. I don't know why you always ask me that. And I'm just like,
maybe you need to reframe the question. Maybe the question.
That's a great. What do I ask him? Because every year he tells me that, so I'm just like giggle it off. I'm like, that's cute. Okay, fine. You know, maybe he doesn't know how to articulate himself or express himself. So I left it alone. But literally every day this week, I've come home from meetings and he's literally doing like the same thing or
goals,
not doing anything.
So he's relaxing,
which. Yes, mind you, he goes to work all day.
So he's relaxing after work.
I will say my husband works full time. You know, he graduated last year, the year prior now.
With a master's.
Yeah, so I mean, I get it.
He's chilling. He just went through school, guys.
But how long of a break do you need?
I don't know how long it takes.
The whole idea with him sitting on the couch reading like Yahoo, I just feel like
he was reading Yahoo.
Girl, he gets he will wake up at like 5 a.m, 5:36. And I see like a little shadow in the bed. And I look over and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, just reading the news. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's good.
Fine. And then he comes home. He does the same thing. Or maybe he'll play the piano for a little bit. He'll go stand outside, look at the sky. And I'm just constantly like asking him. I'm just like...
So it's maybe not what... So the question needs to be rephrased. Now that you said that, now we've been through this a couple of years in a row, I feel it's like what you're asking him. So he doesn't have per se goals, but maybe the question could be, is there something that you have not accomplished that you would like to accomplish? Because in his mind, for when you know him, right? You know him for 21 years. You both grew up together. He has accomplished probably more than a lot of people, you know, his immediate family. He's probably has... You know, just getting his master's not long ago. Like, you know, you guys have your house, you have great kids. I mean, if you think about it, you guys are living the American dream. So for you, because you have, you know, you're an ambitious, you know, go-getter, forward-thinking person, there's so much more still to achieve. Mm-hmm. For some people in other places, when they look at you, you are living the American dream. So for him, this is probably what he wanted. He wanted to have a stable home, a beautiful wife, hardworking wife, great kids. Everybody's healthy.
Right.
My house is great. I have cars. What exactly do I need?
And the thing is, and that's what I had to check myself. I'm like, I guess I don't know. And I don't know what it is because it's like part of me. So like yesterday, I low-key had an attitude. And I walked in. It wasn't even low-key. It was big key. Like I walked in.
I'm like, you don't do low-key attitude. No.
I walked in. I had grocery bags in my hand. I still had a 6 o'clock conference call. And I had to cook because I was supposed to cook last night. And he's sitting on the couch with slippers on his phone. He's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, what's up?
He has a great life, Christina.
What's up? You should be like, I don't know.
Cooking? You wanted him to cook?
No, he cooks for me all the time.
Exactly.
I barely cook. So don't let me exaggerate
let's clarify
here.
This, guys.
I cooked maybe twice a month. Like, Kent cooks every single day. I manage everything else. Like the house is clean, you know, so he is super helpful. He picks up the kids in the afternoon. Like, so we have a very good parenting system. I just feel like, I don't feel like that he's really happy. Like, I feel like he is, because I'm around him so much, I watch his moods go up and down. And I feel like, you know, there's certain things he has to do to control that, like his moods. And part of me wonders, is it because he's really not fulfilled and he feels like it's too late? Like, I don't know, like men just think about things differently. And like, he just turned 40 in May. And so like, oftentimes he always like every blue moon, he'll say to me, like, I should have went to med school. And I'm like, well, it's not too late to go to med school. And he's like, nah, like, you know, because he has so much responsibility financially, like with us, he just got a master's degree. So I think in his mind, he's constantly like he's always thinking about what he didn't do, that it has him frozen in doing anything to change it. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
That 100% makes sense.
Like, it's just like, you know, I just catch him, like, he hates his job, but because it's flexible and the pay is okay, like, I don't, like, if you hate it so much, like, you should be, in my mind, you should be actively, like, online looking. And I'm like, you're not looking.
But it's also being comfortable.
He's
comfortable.
He's in really, slippers. So, he's, like, hella comfortable.
So that's, I think sometimes the going somewhere new, starting new is scary, right? So if you know this, you can do this with your eyes closed, and you know, people know you, they respect you, and you can do your work. Like, it's a little bit difficult to want to make that leap to something new. You don't know how people are going to be there. You know, is it going to be stable? So there's the pros and cons to that.
Yeah.
Another thing that you probably have to process is that you guys are so different, which is probably why you work. Because if he had the same drive you have, you would drive each other crazy. Who's going to pick up the kids and who's going to do certain things, right? Because if he's going after all of this too, and so are you, and that's where I think conflict sometimes comes. So maybe this season is for him to do exactly what he's doing as you're building this thing, right? So we're building this stuff, we're doing these things for a couple of years now. And even in the midst of that, he was able to get a master's, which I think is extremely amazing.
I agree.
But maybe another question you can ask him is if you the money and time and that wasn't an issue.
I've asked him that question, and every time he's like, "Why you ask?" Like, he literally says, "He's like, why you keep asking me stuff? Like it's foreign language to him." I'm like, if we were in we were in Jamaica, and I was like, you know, I see the ocean. We had already had a couple beverages, and I'm like, so if money wasn't an issue, and he looked over, he's like, why you be asking me stuff like that? Like, it like low-key irritated him for me to ask him that. I was like, because you don't think about these things? He's like, no, I don't think about these things in this way. He's like, I think about things in compartments. Work, kids, the family. And so he's like, so you constantly asking me these theoretical things and like these big, and he's like, what do you want me to say so we can, like, because he said to me, he's like, I feel like no matter what I say, it's not going to be deep enough for you.
It's not going to be good enough for you.
So just tell me what you want me to say so we can bypass this conversation. And I was offended. I was like, so you just want to bypass the conversation? And he's like, no, because I feel like you're the way he makes it seem like I am not like it's almost like I'm judging him or that I'm not like content enough with him. And
okay.
So I just want him more so. I just want him to be able to feel like if there's something more he wants to do, I don't want him to like settle because of me and the kids. Because sometimes I feel like he felt like he had to settle because of the kids and me. And I'm just like, I want him to feel more open and give himself, like if he came to me and was like, yo, I want to go to med school. All right, cool. Like I would figure it out because I want him to feel the way I feel every day. Like every day I wake up and even if I have 20 meetings and I feel like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. I'm charged by the work that I get to do every day. I know it's a blessing. I know it's an honor that I get to take my kids to school. I get to see my kids before they go to bed. I get to meet with leaders. I get to work alongside of you. Like I feel like fulfilled. Even though I'm not content, I'm fulfilled. I just don't feel like my husband's fulfilled. And every year that goes into a new year, I'm constantly thinking about those things. And then when I feel like I don't, like he's not thinking about that, I don't know why that bothers me so much.
Because you almost feel guilty. And I think what you have to do, because sometimes you know how parents feel like that, like they tell their kids, well, because of you, I didn't realize my whole dream. Mm-hmm. And even though they don't voice it, like sometimes like it's your fault, kids feel like it's your fault.
Yeah.
So you are feeling kind of like the parental guilt. Kind of like,
maybe.
Like because of us.
I get to live my dream.
And you're not. Yeah. But doesn't mean that he's not living what he wants to live. Yeah. And I think, you cannot force somebody, right? Like you have done a lot of work to grow on you and think differently. Plus you're in different type of things. Mm-hmm. Men think in compartments, many of them, right? Not all of them.
Yeah.
And to get out of that, they have to do a lot of work, inner work. And he just like haven't had the time to do that or the desire.
Right.
Which either one is okay.
Yeah.
So you don't feel guilty. I think you continue to work on you and create the life that you know that we can create. And then that will open the space for him to, if he wants to go after something. There's people that didn't start careers into 70. Into 75. So he's still pretty young.
Yeah. And I want him to know that I want him to know that I'm okay if he ever wants to do those things.
And then you would tell him that and then let it be.
Yeah, leave it. And then that's where I need to let it be. I literally checked myself. I don't know if I checked myself last night or today. It might have actually been today when I was like, Christina, like, maybe you're the only one in this partnership that like maybe it's just my job to do certain things, and maybe to your point, maybe he really is okay. And so I guess as we're like evaluating kind of what comes along with, you know, a lot of what we see in the media and you know, kind of this hoorah that comes along with the new year, I also think it's important that we pause for a second and just say, listen, what part of my life am I realistically content with? What areas of my life do I want to make some changes about? But not feeling like, you know, if you are in fact content, cool, and if you're not, then you can do something about it. You can change it. And I think that's the biggest, you know, thing that I am working on is like, okay, I need to listen to him more in a way of just trying to see things from his point of view, or whoever, you know, even if you're listening and you are kind of in this space, because maybe, you know, you don't have the goals and the ambition. That doesn't make you a bad person. That makes you, you know, that makes you you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you don't have to go out and start a business. You don't have to go out and get another degree. It's like at the end of the day, if you evaluate your life and, you know, and if you have children, incorporate your kids in the process of like creating goals or just maybe just even creating a space to evaluate what worked last year, what didn't work, what did I love to do, did I love being able to take my kids into school in the morning. It's like, actually, no, I didn't like that at all.
I need an Uber.
Maybe I can trade off with my mom. Maybe I need my mornings for me. Like whatever it is.
Right.
Like don't stress yourself and create a situation just trying to create something new.
And don't project.
Yeah, for real.
Don't project your ambitions and because everybody's different. Like not everybody wants to start a business, and that's absolutely okay.
Right.
I don't want to get another degree. I feel like I'm fine. Right.
Yeah.
Like I see people that want to do like 3,000 degrees. I'm like, good for you. That is not me. And that is not a desire of mine. It doesn't make me like a person who doesn't like school. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's totally okay. And I found this article as we're getting ready to wrap up this episode, you know, and like I said, a new year is just another opportunity. Honestly, every day.
Every day.
Don't wait for a new year to start trying to evaluate or create changes or create impact. Like every single day that you wake up is an opportunity to create, is an opportunity to reset, is an opportunity to extend, you know, your time, your services, or just put you as a priority. But this article I thought was simplified enough. It was just 5 things to do to get prepared for a successful new year. And they highlight organizing your time.
Yeah.
That was something that I did spend some time over the weekend just looking at my first quarter calendar. Even today, I canceled some meetings that I made in December because I had people calling me to meet. And I'm like, let's meet in January. I was like, I don't need to meet with you in January because the reality is that meeting is not fruitful.
Yeah.
And January for me, I need to like be super laser focused. And so like looking at your time in a way of like, who do you want to spend time with? Where do you need to cut time out? If the gym is a priority, when are you going to the gym? So really taking the time to organize your time because we all have the same amount of time in a day. So whatever you have identified as a priority, like does your schedule match that? Do your commitments match that? Do your volunteer things match that? So spending time just to organize your time daily. Second thing was goal setting, which we've talked about. And it does not need to be like some crazy goals. Like I told you earlier, like I'm literally looking at the next 90 days and I have some personal goals and some professional goals. I actually made a little vision book with my family like a couple of weeks ago. And I used to do like just cutting stuff out of a magazine, and I actually printed stuff off the internet this time.
Nice.
Because I was like, okay, these are my goals. Like, I can never find anything in these damn magazines. I'm like, I don't want none of this stuff in here. So I went to the internet and started typing in words and images, and I printed off like all this stuff. So my sister was like, wow, you cheated. And I was like, no,
I'm smart.
I don't have time to go through like 20,000 magazines.
I love that.
I just printed stuff off the internet, and it's not super pretty, but
it's intentional.
It's intentional. And I actually picked the word flourish as my word for this year. And so that's what I put on the header of the book. And so the last 3 is kids, if you have them, get them involved. If you have kids, it's important that you're talking to them about your goals. You're including their goals in your goals. So maybe your kid wants to try basketball or art or something like that. Like, it's important that you spend time. So I did ask the girls some of their goals. And Adrian and I had a light conversation about it. And so, if you have children, spend some time creating goals with them, figuring out what they want to do so that they do feel as a part of the process.
So when their wife asks them when he's married in 20 years, you'll know. You're like, actually.
Right. Prepare them early because they might have somebody later on down the road who asks them about that.
They're like, my mom does this all the time. I got it.
Yes. The number 4 item was prioritize your health in your body. I felt like that was so necessary. Like, I really, really love that because we all know if we don't take care of our health, we don't take care of our body, we're not able to produce. Like, we don't sleep, you don't eat right. All of those things play a huge part in you being able to show up as your authentic self. So if that's working out, getting back on a healthier track, taking time for mental health.
Yes, please. Like, mindfulness is important. I keep reading things about taking like the first 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, or the first minute. Actually, it doesn't even have to be 10 minutes, guys. Like 1 minute in the morning before you check your phones, before you do anything on social media. Like, just taking a minute to just give thanks for waking up and having like that mental space. Because once you get on that phone, man, like they rob you.
Right.
The whole day is gone.
The whole day is gone.
So yes, be intentional about your mental health, especially now with so many moving things and so much going on in the world. You have to set time to be quiet. Even if it's a minute a day, everybody has to have a minute a day. If you don't have a minute a day, then you don't have a life.
Facts. And then last but not least, cleaning. I know some people really hate the thought of that.
It's like decluttering.
Cleaning. I mean, it sounds like a small task or maybe a big task, but honestly, kicking off your new year with making sure the house is in order, like, it's a game changer. I highly recommend, like saving a little bit of money if you can to get maybe a professional clean. Like having somebody come out and clean your house.
At least once a month.
At least. And some people feel like, oh, that's such a luxury. There are really affordable cleaning companies. You actually would be surprised on how affordable it can be to have, I want to say a team of people come. But like being able to have your house completely clean and then you just maintain it,
yeah.
Making your bed every morning, putting your laundry away, which I don't put my laundry away. Like, I will wash clothes and they will stay in a basket. They will stay hung up. I mean, they will literally just be clothes everywhere. And I'm like, this is childish.
But they're clean.
This is ghetto. Get your life together. Put your clothes away. For me. So just making sure that you're keeping up with the house, your car, like.
Oh, that's right.
I'm very big on a clean car. I have not always been this way.
Lord help me.
But I tell you, when my car got so dirty when it snowed during Christmas, and like as soon as the snow went away, I went to the car wash, and me and like 300 other people, because I waited in like a line to get my car clean. I vacuumed my carpets. It's a vibe when you get in your car and it smells like vanilla.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the whole vibe. That's not me. Like in the summer, like I think anytime it's not snowing, anytime I think about washing my car, it rains and actually takes care of it. So I really haven't had, the desire to clean my car.
But you can hire people too. Like, they have coupons. They'll come and clean your car for you. Like,
I'm going to do that because.
Or maybe that's a birthday gift. Like, if you can't afford it yourself, when people are like, what do you want for your birthday? I want to get my car clean.
Yes.
Can we put a GoFundMe
I will always go with like food though, but I mean I get it. Like,
listen,
if I had
I'm done.
choose,
don't feed me no more. This waistline, I'm trying to get cute for summer. Give me a car wash. No, I want to be cuter. I want my car clean. I want my house clean. I want
my house definitely. Yes. Because if you think about the house cleaning thing, like figure out how much time it takes you. It takes me literally all day to clean my house because of the size. Where a team can come in and in 3 hours or 2 hours they clean. And that time that you can have to organize your clothes, right? To like put the dishes away or to do, relax, go to the gym, do something for yourself is so worth it.
Yeah.
Put it in the budget, guys. Put it in the budget.
Yeah, absolutely. So we hope that this episode was helpful for you. It's just a starting point. It's a new year. It's a new opportunity to create, the impact, the changes that you want to make. But take it in bites. Don't feel like it needs to be this big overnight. I'm a new person. No.
Right, you're not.
Listen, I've been this way 37 years. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and just be like different, but I'm aware. And so there's little things. So give yourself grace in the process. And also understand that even though you're on this journey and you are aware and you're, focusing, not everybody in your circle, they might not be there yet.
And that's okay.
And that's also something that I'm learning, and I got to give myself grace and give my husband grace, poor guy. But because I know everybody is different. And so as we're going into a new year, be mindful of that. Continue to give yourself time, have patience. And have patience with those around you.
Yes, be kind. Just be kind to each other this year, guys.
Yes.
Awesome.
And as you know, every episode, we like to close our episode exactly the same way.
It's bigger than you. Thank you so much for listening today. We're excited, and we hope that you follow us on
Instagram, True Print for Life, YouTube channel, also True Print for Life. And make sure that you share, watch our videos. Make sure that you follow us on all streaming platforms.